How's it going, guys? My name is Nick. This is James.
Hi guys.
And thank you so much for joining us on yet another video. Today's one is actually very important. This is the video that I think should have been the very first video of my channel. Anyway, here we are. Today's video is the review of my very own car, the Ford Mondeo ST220. Now, the way we're going to do today is James and I are going to be driving as well as doing shooting. So James might not actually be in the rest of the video. So sorry, James. But he is definitely needed to make this video work. So if any credit is due, it is to him as well as to myself. I think we're working as a team today. So yeah, just bear that in mind for the comments. It's not just me on these videos. I have incredible friends helping me with all the shots. So thank you for that.
Trying our best, yeah.
Okay, so before I tell you guys all about this car, let me take all of you back to where it all basically began. Now, my first car was a 1.6 litre Ford Fiesta from 2005, also a silver car. And to sum it up, that was basically where my passion for cars really took off. Obviously, throughout my life, I've been a fan of cars ever since I was like in grade 5 in primary school. That's basically the year that I connect to when my passion for cars developed or even started. And then this Fiesta really just sparked that, or transformed that spark into a flame. And I knew, even when I got that car, that my next car had to be something a little bit different, something on the next level. And this is where the Ford Mondeo ST220 comes into play. So as many of you know, Ford makes cars of every shape and size, being hatchbacks, muscle cars, trucks, even supercars sometimes. And if I can call it what it is, this is a sporty saloon, being a car with 4 doors, a big boot, and even bigger engine, and a car that can just cruise and cruise and cruise. And I think the idea that they went with was they were trying to rekindle some of the flames from the early 1970s with the big 6 Cortinas, because from the stories I've heard, people just adore those cars. That being said though, you might ask, what makes this different from any normal Ford Mondeo? Well, the exterior, just to start with, is something completely different. They've got new flared wheel arches, new front bumper, new rear bumper, new exhaust pipes and tips, a bigger engine, and some skirts on the side as well. Oh, and I can't forget the 18-inch alloy rims, which really just make this car pop a little bit. Now, even if we step away from the performance and the incredible exterior, the interior is something special of its own as well. So they've got these lovely new Recaro racing seats that they've implemented into the design of this car. One thing though I'd say is it's not necessarily a sporty feel that you get when you sit in this car. It's maybe even more executive than sporty like. A lot of black leather, some brushed aluminium parts, silver and black. No contrast stitching or things like that, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't make you feel special. I really enjoy the interior of this car. You feel secure, everything is well built. I think the choice of materials is also really excellent. Now, it's all good and well that you've got all these awesome exterior parts, a beefy engine and a loud exhaust, but how do all these elements come together to form the experience that is the ST220? Now, clearly I'm driving, and I can just tell you guys off the bat that this car is an absolute mile muncher. It cruises like nothing I've ever experienced. Not that that says much, because obviously I haven't experienced too many cars yet. But it is an absolutely smooth ride, even though the car does have stiffer springs from the normal Mondeo. The car just goes. It can just cruise and cruise and cruise. And as I've said, the interior is so well incorporated with that experience that you feel like you're in this suite per se. You're in a really good space. And then there is the most important part of a car like this, and that is its engine. This 3-litre V6 is so appropriate towards this car, because obviously it's a little bit of a heavy chassis, 4 doors, big boot and all of that, but the engine just complements it so well. There's power directly when you need it. There's in a turbo, so there's no lag. When there's a steep hill, when you need to overtake, effortless. It's not the quickest car out there, I'll just tell you guys that right now. Wow. But I think for someone of my age and someone with, let's say, not too much experience, a car like this, which is quick and special but not too quick that I can lose control easily. Oh, my camera's falling over there. I think the engine is just perfect. an engine like this obviously has a big thirst. Now the combined fuel consumption I think is around about 10 liters per 100 kilometers, which isn't all that bad, but for someone like me, I'm still studying by the way, is maybe a tad too much. If I could change one thing of this car, okay, first of all, I take away the 2 rear doors. I think a coupe version of this looks just excellent, and then I change the fuel consumption, but obviously that just comes with the engine. So obviously I can go on for hours and hours about how awesome this car is and how it makes me feel, but I think what's really important in some cars is the way the owner can criticize it. And being an owner of this car for 2.5 years now, there are a few things that actually do bother me a little bit. One of them, which isn't that big, it's just a personal preference, is I think the styling of this car was a little bit too conservative. Obviously you've got the performance parts that I've talked about now, the nice skirts and body kit per se, but still I think they could have done a little bit more, especially when you look at current STs compared to their normal variants. I think the Focus is a good example of that. The styling is a lot more aggressive and flamboyant, and I think that is necessary in a car like this where you put an ST badge on it, especially a car with a 3-litre V6. I mean, it's just, that's what I would have done. And then there's probably the biggest thing that I think the majority of people will have a problem with. So Ford did not make this a rear-wheel drive car. They did not make a saloon with a 3-litre V6 in the front, rear-wheel drive. Why? I do not know. But on the other hand, I think Ford knows what they're doing. Their cars always perform as they intend to. The reviewers love the cars, especially if you look at the Fiesta ST and maybe the Focus a little bit as well. So I'm not saying that Ford made a mistake. I'm just saying for a car like this, it would probably have been preferable if it was rear-wheel drive as well, just so that you get that full package, that real true blood, you know, performance. I don't even know how to put it, but just that entire package would be preferable. Now, other than those things I've mentioned just now, there is really nothing else I can complain about. As my first sports car, this is more than I could ever ask for, and I feel so absolutely privileged to be able to own a car like this. And it's probably going to be really difficult to replace this car. Something that sounds as amazing, something that just drives as amazing, and something that's as well priced as this car. Now, it doesn't help that I give you figures on what it costs in South Africa, because around the world it's going to cost different prices, but the price in South Africa is very good. And yeah, I think it is a very good package, and there's not much more to complain about. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking, why am I not coming to the most important part, which is the performance figures? So let's just jump straight to that. The car has a 0 to 100 time of 7 to 7.5 seconds, which might be slower than some of you guys expect, but do remember that this car wasn't just built for straight performance. I also think it was built to keep cruising in mind, and just a comfort level as well. Then the car has 166 kilowatts as standard and 222 brake horsepower. That's where the ST220 was derived from. Some people are actually under the idea that it is the engine size, being 2.2 liters. Not the case, it's a 3-liter V6. And curb weight, I think, is just under 1,400 kilograms. So it's not the lightest car, but it's obviously not so heavy if you think about all the parts that are fitted to it. And then one more thing I want to show whilst we're on the discussion of performance and modifications to this car. This is actually a book that the previous owner has compiled with literally everything that has been done to this car. And not just services and whatnot, but like the booklets that came with the car. There's even an article, yeah, there is an article that he found in a book that he printed out, previous picture of the car. So this is before he did the stripes, which you can see as an added extra, and before I did the rims. But the part that I actually want to show you guys is somewhere here in the back. Here we go. It is a dyno that he got done when he put on the free flow exhaust system. So as standard, the car pushes around about 137 kilowatts on the wheels, which would be the red line. And this performance pipe actually pushed it up by 10 kilowatts to 147, which is very cool. Newton meters changed from 225 to 244 on the wheels, which is also quite impressive. And yeah, I'm actually very glad the previous owner has gone to this extent to make sure that the car is just looked after and that all the information is there and everything. I actually enjoy the modifications that he's put on the car, which is basically just the pipe and the stripes. I think they are proper additions to this car that just makes it a little bit more special. Yeah, so I think that is actually everything I can say about the car before this video gets a little bit redundant. And I've just stopped at my house, which is good timing, I guess. And that unfortunately means it is the end of the video. But just before I get to that, there's one last topic I have to cover, which is a bit of a sad one. And that's the fact that I'm actually selling this car after this video. And that just creates a lump in my throat, as I've said it. It makes me really a little bit emotional, because obviously this has been my first sports car and my introduction to the performance world out there, and just my key to so many awesome places and opportunities to meet different people. I'll never forget what this car has done for me, and the incredible moments I've had with this car. But I do think it is time to move on and just learn about new cars, you know, get something new, get into a new brand and discover what they have to offer and what those cars are actually like. So yeah, sad times, because this is now actually the very last time I'm doing a video with this car, but I think it is a necessary move, and hopefully this car gets a new owner. So if some of you guys are keen on a Ford Mondeo ST220, do hit me up in the DMs, but preferably you need to be in the Western Cape of South Africa to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, that's basically it. I do need to say thank you so much to James for helping me film throughout this video. I've actually dropped him at his house a while back because he's got some study work to do. And this part of the video just requires me talking to you guys. So yeah, please also do excuse the way I talk sometimes. I'm actually Afrikaans, which is one of the native languages to South Africa. And English is my second language. So if my pronunciation or stuttering is a little bit excessive, please do excuse me for that. Anyway, that's everything for this video. If you guys liked it, please do drop a like and a comment down below and subscribe. And thank you so very much for being such an awesome community, just supporting this channel and myself and my friends so much. It really does mean the world to me. Your comments are so incredible. There was this one, I think a week back at a previous shoot I was at, that really just got me like nearly up in tears. Such an awesome community. Thank you guys for that. But that is it for this video. I will check you guys in the next one. Cheers.